God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay calm.
everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
A few moments later.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
There is a lot to talk about regarding everything related to cinema that has dropped this week. So I thought of doing like a news bulletin style of all things that spark controversy, debate, and some things that I just really wanted to yap about. So first things first, let's be honest. S.S. Rajamouli is the #1 director from Indian cinema currently. Everyone in this country and many parts of the world is waiting for his next collaboration because he has been etched as one of the greats simply for the waves he has caused post Bahubali and something that was enhanced further by RRR. This is not to discount the years of exceptional work he has done in Telugu cinema, but if I were to look beyond the confines of language and states, it is the post Bahubali era that really made S.S. Rajamouli a household name across the globe. So when it was announced that the director's next project is going to be the globe-trotting action-adventure film with Mahesh, Babu, Prithviraj and Priyanka Chopra, everyone was extremely curious about what the visionary director had cooked up. The film that is rumored to be titled Varanasi had a look from the sets leaked where Mahesh Babu in an open deserted field was addressing Prithviraj, who seemed to be confined on a wheelchair, already generating speculation that this may be set in a post-apocalyptic world or will simply present the main lead in the quest to find something that may also have the eye of the villain played by Prithviraj. As Mahesh Babu fans were elated with the collaboration they always wanted is finally happening, Jio Hotstar announced that it will be live streaming a Globetrotter title reveal event on the 15th of November at 6 PM at Ramoji City. S.S. Rajamouli tweeted that there is a lot of prep happening for the event and just for fans, he would be sharing the first look of Prithviraj from the movie. And then this look dropped. And it genuinely had most people either split or disappointed, as the hype associated with the movie is unprecedented and the output from a sheer visual perspective came across as rather underwhelming. Introduced as Kumbh, Prithviraj is showcased as sitting on a wheelchair and what has essentially in the background mechanical arms, making a lot of people assume that he may be in the quest of finding the Sanjeevani booty that may give him powers to walk again, and who knows, maybe something even more significant, something that we may all explore as the marketing material of the movie drops. We live in the age of social media where immediate comparisons are going to be drawn, and this is inevitable. I mean, with the King title announcement, Shah Rukh Khan got mercilessly dragged for borrowing the style of Brad Pitt from F1, and it created this storm of chronology on social media on who may have worn this brown and blue combination in film for the first time, even referencing Rajnikant, Jadoo and Ajay Devgan from the 90s as the influence of the look. So here, after the first image appeared in front of me, I couldn't help but believe that the villain seems like a combination of Professor X from X-Men, Doc Ock from Spider-Man, and our Heath Ledger's Joker's Muh Bola Bhai Carl from Krish 3. I can still understand that Professor X and Carl are merely parallels for they are wheelchair ridden. However, you cannot take away the comparison of Doc Ock when you see the almost identical arms floating around behind Prithviraj. The color scheme of the poster and the white pale skin of Prithviraj made him look like the extended family of the Addams family versus someone that is intimidating and we should be scared of. The worst defense of such a mid poster is that S.S. Rajamouli deliberately produces posters that are poor in quality so that your expectations can be rock bottom and then you eventually get blown away in theaters. I say this because the RRR poster campaign was one of the best in my opinion, especially if I were to specifically point out the character posters. I mean, a lot of people point out on how when the Bahubali posters were being posted on social media during the movie's release, on how it was getting mercilessly trolled too. What I do have to conclude in all of the drama, criticism and thoughts that are circulating on social media is that if there is one director I can blindly trust today, it is S.S. Rajamouli. Yes, it may be absolutely unfair to almost believe that he is going to provide us spectacles that will live on for the ages consistently. He is of course human and is bound to falter in this journey of greatness. However, I know a mere poster is not going to deter me from being excited for this project. I have eaten my words when I was quick to jump the gun regarding the mid-quality of posters that were released for Kalki initially, and it got progressively better. And I know very well that the themes, execution and eventual scale and storyline that S.S. Rajamouli will attempt with this film is something that will be worth the wait. Criticism for the odd quality of the first poster is justified because I also found it to be rather uneventful. However, saying that for the third time probably, it doesn't take away from the hype that I still have for this movie. The second aspect that I really wanted to speak about is regarding the 3 videos of songs and choreography that dropped, which I really wanted to expand upon because honestly, there is nothing genuinely that excites me more on the channel than talking about choreography and dance performances. So the first single from the Charan and Janhvi Kapoor starrer just dropped, a song sung by Mohit Chauhan titled Chikri Chikri, and I have to off the bat tell you that I absolutely fell in love with the visuals of the song. For so much of the frames in the movie seem to be set in real locations. The saturated frames and pop of color followed by A.R. Rahman's music immediately hooked me in. While the ruffian aesthetic of the Telugu hero seems to be not going anywhere after Pushpa, Ram Charan seems to be vibing with ease on the number. I can't believe what a sore to the eye it was to see him dance on the Ganesh Acharya numbers in Game Changer. It truly takes some skill to make Ram Charan look like an incapable dancer, but I love the hook step that he performs in this number, and it immediately brought me flashbacks to Janabe Ali's hook step. It seems like the brothers in spirit are somewhat still connected. The vibes of this song specifically reminded me of Tamasha's number Matar Gashti, wholesome, fun and full of life. However, the element that throws me off completely is the integration of Janhvi Kapoor in the video, where the actress is unnecessarily found to be provocative and sexy, while the theme and vibe of the song is completely different. Janhvi is found adjusting her sari, showing her midriff, and it being in sharp contrast to the fun number. When I see the visuals of her entering like a neta in a rally in the same video, it makes me assume that such provocative expressions and poses may be an extension of her character, who is naturally mischievous. Who knows? But I will admit, Janhvi convincing everyone she is a village girl is very funny. The second choreography that I really wanted to talk about was the new single that dropped from De De Pyaar De 2, which primarily showcases son and father Mizan Jaffrey and Javed Jaffrey respectively dancing to the single titled Tin Shok. By the way, I just want to reference that this is a prediction and I felt this way since he got launched with Malal in 2019 opposite Shamin Sehgal, that Mizan Jaffrey actually has all the markings of making it in commercial Hindi cinema but has been marred in his journey of being associated with absolutely terrible projects. You have to be a good actor if you stand out in a train wreck like Nadanya. I love Javed Jaffrey. Some of my most vivid memories of cable television is watching Boogie Woogie. Seeing his iconic knee turns and nimbleness in movement was such a treat. But the man is 62, okay? So when you hand over a choreography to him, I understand that people get giddy with excitement, thinking that they'll hand him over the most complex combination in choreography and he will ace it. But you as a choreographer should realize that one loses the agility and flair as one grows older. So when you see the choreography, it's this rapid combination of movement that gives the notion of it being haphazard rather than it being clean. While Mizan fares better, I think it is extremely unfair to hand over such a complex and fast combination to a star like Javed Jaffrey. As the agility goes away, one is unable to complete the steps first, and halfway through the moves on to the next step due to the rapid pace at which it is choreographed. You can easily design something more appropriate that can complement both father and son, rather than making the legend catch up on the speedy and rapid choreography. I again say, Javed Jaffrey fares better than most, but I must communicate the less is more strategy and how far it goes in terms of choreography when you see a part of the dance being performed by the Boogie Woogie OGs on Instagram on the same song, and just see Ravi Behel and the ease with which he performs the choreography. There is a comfort and flair with the movement versus a haphazard approach in wanting to prove you're capable of something like Michael Jackson. I thought Javed Jaffrey and Mizan were great, but I think a more subtle, relaxed and complementary choreography would have elevated it tenfold. Finally, I saw the glimpse of the new single that dropped of Honey Singh featuring Malaika Arora titled Chill Gum, and it left me speechless, for it just naturally made me facepalm. And I have to already halt anyone who throws remarks like, why is Malaika doing this at this age? Why is she exposing like this? What will her children think? All of these are extremely ageist and sexist remarks, while our male heroes in their 60s are showing their abs, romancing girls in their 20s, all while the masses whistle and cheer. It, for some reason, becomes blasphemous if a woman is just comfortable in her skin and sexy. I'll tell you why I facepalm. When I do see Malaika dance in this form specifically that especially seems like a combination of dancehall and twerking is that she is not used to such dance forms. Arora Fatehi, while being an untrained dancer, is naturally inclined towards making genres such as dancehall, which has a lot of hip thrusts and movements below the waist, aesthetically fun to watch. Whereas when you get someone who is from the school of Munni Badnaam and Chaiya Chaiya and put her in the school to twerk like Cardi B, it just seems unnatural. I'm all for Malaika Arora feeling herself irrespective of the age that she is in. However, when she does stick her tongue out and twerk, it seems like a person wanting to fit in versus a dance form that has been learned and mastered. Imagine me suddenly seeing Madhuri Dixit or Shwarya Rai twerk with their tongue out. It's not that they aren't good dancers, it's just that certain forms of dance are not natural to how their bodies move. Similarly, in genres of dance like classical, I'm sure Nora will lack the grace that comes naturally to Madhuri Dixit. It is very difficult to have the diversity like Rani Mukherjee, who can be both graceful and sexy no matter which choreographer she is handed over. And finally, I am the most excited for what dropped yesterday, and that is Family Man Season 3's trailer. I have with my whole heart and mind concluded that Raj and DK are some of the best creators in Indian cinema. Creators who are so versatile in their filmography, doing out and out comedies and stylized action films and even horror comedies like no one else. I think everyone will attest to the fact that their creative minds have been missed in the Maddock horror comedy universe. And when I see the stylized frames and scale of Family Man Season 3, I can't help but feel like this is the action aesthetic that I really wanted to be in the Spyverse or even War 2 versus whatever mess it eventually became. There is a gritty tone and realism to Raj and DK's portrayal of secret agents that is so exciting to watch. The film's trailer holds on to its core comedic elements while still also never letting go of the gravity of the matter, as Nimrat Kaur and Jaideep Ehlawat joined the party this time to create havoc in the northeast of India. First of all, I must say that it's absolutely insane on how time flies, because just yesterday I remember Srikanth reprimanding his son for playing the flute, and now that same son has a full-blown mustache. It reminds me about the sheer shock I had as I used to watch Full House and Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen were infants, and suddenly after a few seasons they were talking in full sentences. I can't deal with this rapid dread of adulthood. The son asking him whether he has code names like Tiger and Panther, and Srikanth replying that, they work on intelligence and not a circus, was the diss on the Spyverse I never expected to be integrated in this series. Srikanth seems to be under suspicion by the Indian authorities too, and is on the run or is in a hideout. The banter between Srikanth and JK seems to be in full swing, and the quest to stop Jaideep Ehlawat, presumably the biggest drug smuggler in the area, who looks like an absolute badass by the way, while Srikanth handles the pressure from the Indian authorities that doubt his loyalty, just makes me believe that this series is only going to get bigger and better. We need them to make a comeback with feature films too. I miss Raj and DK really badly in that space too. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about the Globetrotter poster and some of the trailers and music videos that have dropped this week. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.